Hello Marvel Legends, it's Moral Behavior and it's another episode of the Legends Legacy Review. Last time, Pizza Spider-Man shot to the #1 position in my own personal Legends Legacy ranking, and now we have a very different character. Still in the Spider family, but something a little more monstrous. We have Toxin. Now, after having a couple of characters that I was given out about not liking very much, I'm on a roll now. We got some good ones. Toxin is a big favorite of mine. First of all, look at the size. He's a hefty boy. He weighs high on the heftometer. Is it the Hyperion body? I think it is. Either way, it's chunky. It's big in hand. It feels like a toy that boys play with. Not to be gender dynamics or anything. Girls play with toys. Non-binary kids play with toys. Everyone plays with toys, but this is a hefty toy, and I like that. So Toxin is, again, another figure that perfectly captures the figure from the comics. He's got the extra sculpting on the back, these symbiote spikes rising up, which give the character more texture, more stuff going on. It's not just a repainted body, which this could so easily have been. And the vast majority is because, again, that's the nature of the character. You're not going to completely resculpt new stuff when there's nothing really to resculpt. Similar to the Toxin. What am I talking about? Oh yes, oh gosh, I just called him Toxin. I called him Toxin at the start, didn't I? Anti-Venom. Oy vey, I'm glad that you watch these shows for the personality and not the factual accuracy, because oh my god. Anti-Venom, you knew that. As soon as I said Toxin, you were like, no Dave, it's Anti-Venom. You were getting ready to comment, weren't you? I caught it. Anti-Venom, what a pretty character. He's bright white. I love bright white characters because they jump off the shelf. By the very nature of collecting a lot of Spider-Man, there's a lot of red, there's a lot of blue, it kind of comes with the territory. And then when you have so many figures all crammed into Detolf cases, which I really need to get more of, it starts to become like a blancmange of... You know what, I'm not even going to fix it. It becomes a blancmange of just a mess of colour. So having a bright white figure just pops off the shelf, looks so good. Now this figure has had a little bit of custom work done to it. I bought this from a dealer on Facebook, and he's had a little bit of work. He's been under the knife. He's had some work done. He's got a little extra black around the head and the eyes, and also the mouth itself has got more yellow and orange, which gives this fiery kind of look to it. So I can't sort of judge him. I can't give him extra points for that. That's not fair, because that's not normal Anti-Venom. But it's only a very small difference. If it was a big difference, I wouldn't have bought it, because I like them to be accurate to what Hasbro made, for better or for worse. But yeah, this figure ranks real high for me. I love, just like Toxin, as I was saying when I figured out the name was wrong, he has the sort of lumps and bumps and spikes on the elbows as well that give him that extra stuff going on, makes him more interesting. With the spikes on the back as well, it really adds to the character, along with the long, gnarly symbiote fingers too. Also, a big, point scoring part for me is the face sculpt itself has this kind of skull sort of effect to it, which looks so cool. It's kind of like the skull crawler creatures from that new Kong movie. Well, I say new, it came out a couple of years ago now, but I quite enjoyed that. Anyway, I digress. The skull-looking face, I think, is terrific. I get a lot of enjoyment from that look. Anti-Venom is a character that didn't stick around for very long. Eddie Brock quickly moved on to bigger and better and more familiar things. But while he was here, he made a real impact, sort of design-wise for me. I really cottoned onto this. So as a figure, I'm a big fan. How big a fan, though? Let's find out. Let's go to our rankings, and I gotta say, he's super high. He's gonna go right up. He doesn't have as much going on as a character like Hawkeye, but I do prefer him because I love the boldness. The question is really, is he better than Pizza Spider-Man in my eyes? And I gotta say, no, he doesn't beat out Pizza Spider-Man. Pizza Spider-Man has so much more going on with him, because that's one thing for Anti-Venom is no accessories. Zero, nothing. What you see is what you get. So there's no added value, unfortunately. Even though he is a big chunky figure, so you're gonna get your value there, but you could have had an Eddie Brock head, you could have had different hands, there's all sorts of things you could have done. So with that, being the case, I'm gonna place Anti-Venom just below Pizza Spider-Man in the number 2 position, and I'm very happy with that. And you should be very happy with that too. That's a heck of a ranking. We're still very early in the Legends Legacy review, but still a number 2 spot is nothing to sneeze at. I know that because I have a lot of affection for this character, I was like, is he a boy? Is he a member of the boy stable? And he's not, because I think he's a bit too good to be a boy. There's enough going on with the nice paint job on the face, the skull design, the extra work on the back and the elbows. A bit too good to be a boy, but he's boy connected. He's like a free range boy. He's not in the stable, he's out in the paddock. Anyway, Anti-Venom is a lot of fun, and he's a character that I'm very, very fond of, and this was a fun review. So guys, thank you for joining me. I'm getting back to these Legends Legacy reviews now, because I've been opening so much stuff. It's been all unboxings and top 10s. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more, join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Model Behavior. If you enjoyed this video, then I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the subscribe button, and don't miss a single episode of Model Behavior.